And we're back again. Diane Snowfog Bushcraft. And have I got a video for you. Let me tell you. Ever since I started this awesome hobby, actually a way of life, I've always been pulled to go to thrift stores and secondhand shops and yard sales and, you know, the whole gambit of secondhand, used, Goodwill, Salvation Army, and find vintage cutting tools and vintage clothing and wool blankets. You know what I'm talking about. Bags, just whatever was bushcrafty or survivalist or, you know, secondhand. It wasn't the point of, you know, I want to get it cheap. I want something that's been used and has a story to it and has experience, I guess. And, you know, the cheap factor doesn't help either. But in my travels, even in, excuse me, when I lived in New York, I would rarely come upon anything that was usable, serviceable. I was in Lancaster, Pennsylvania last year, seeing our son, and they had a huge Goodwill. I was able to go there, and I got a really huge wool blanket for like $7. And I thought that was just, you know, the greatest thing in the world, that I actually found a wool blanket. You know, then we moved down here, and we've been to Goodwill, and our area has a big, thrifty swap shop, second-hand, antique community. I mean, you know, there's maps, brochures, pamphlets of places you can go, and, you know, it's all second-hand stuff, and, you know, consignment shops and pawn shops. I've never really been in a pawn shop. Anyway, so I went to the Goodwill down here, and a couple of privately owned stores, and I'm like, just not feeling it. I'm not seeing nothing. I think I got maybe a stainless steel cup, you know, that I found at Goodwill. Well, apparently, I've been looking in all the wrong places. Apparently, you have to go to, like, an antique store to find your bargains. Who knew? I always thought that antiques were, like, you know, very expensive, overpriced, old stuff. You know, furniture and dishes. And so, like, right behind our house over here is this little tiny shop. It almost looks like it used to be an old gas station at some point. And I can't even think of the name of the business. But he's only open on Saturdays, and when you drive by, it looks like Sanford and Son. I mean, literally. He's got road signs. He's got a moped, like, from 1970, and he's just got all kinds of stuff out there. Old vending machines and old pop machines, and it just looks like a big junkyard. And I'm like, oh, I really want to go there. I want to see what he's got. I bet you he's got something good. And man, I hit the mother load. So, there was 3 of these. The other one was like really high and big, and I'm like, didn't really want it. But they're Edgeworth extra high grade plug slice tobacco tins, pipe tobacco tins. I mean, how good you can see that with the light. I mean, really old tins. I mean, but they're awesome tins. I mean, it's got, you know, a little history up here, and, you know, just a really good, serviceable tin. Couple bucks. Let me take this out of there. And here's the smaller version of the tin. You can see it. You know, they're just awesome little tins. Still in great shape. I mean, is there a date on here? No, there's no date or anything. But, you know, you can tell they're They're antique tins, but I paid a couple bucks for each of them, so I thought that was awesome. And then I found this teeny tiny little lighter. I mean, look at the size of this thing, if I can. It's so little compared to my hand. I mean, this thing is like the size of my pinky. Not even. That's how small it is. And it has just the wheel. And then and it still sparks. What an awesome little addition to a little EDC kit or survival kit or something. I mean, you know, look how little it is. Oh, it's just the cutest little thing in the world. And it still sparks, and you can probably still put flints in it. So that's going to go in a little survival tin of mine. And the little placard on there says New Mexico. 50 cents. I thought that was just so darn cute. I mean, who wouldn't think it was cute, right? I'm going to put it back in here so I don't lose it in my gear dome-ness here. Okay, what else? And he also had a box of rocks there. You could buy quartz. I mean, quartz is very prominent in my area. There's quartz everywhere. And he had old, I don't think they were like old arrowheads. I think they were like manufactured arrowheads. But in the bottom of the box, lo and behold, look what I found. Some flint. I'm not sure if it's actually flint or chert. But I'm like, awesome, because I can't find this in my area. And I need to work on some of the edges. I'm going to need to nap a little bit of that off of there. But there's some sharpness on there. I bet you it would take a spark. I haven't tried it yet. Let's see. Do I have a striker or anything near me that I could possibly use? Oh, let me use my little cutting thing here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. It's not looking like it's probably not sharp enough. That moth is looking to get himself in trouble here. No, I don't think I have enough sharp edges on it because this tool here is high carbon steel and it's not. Oh, there was a little spark right there. Yeah, it's probably not showing up on the camera though. Little sparks. I'll need to nap some of them edges off to get it to work, but you know, I paid 10 cents a piece. I've been looking in the wrong place for all of my treasures. Go to antique stores to get them. Who'd have thunk that? I wouldn't have thunk that in a million years. So, let's get on with some more goodies. Knives, knives, knives. Well, one knife and 2 straight razors. Straight razors aren't very bushcrafty, but look at that. It's almost like a camo bone handle on that. Oh, they're really rusty too, and I'm trying not to get cut. But look at that. Isn't that a beauty? And it's still pretty sharp. I mean, it needs a good honing and a stropping, but that baby's sharp. Yeah, I can see myself getting tetanus here. I thought this was really neat. It came in this old, like, cardboard case. It says Schmidt on it. I don't know if that's the person that donated it or whatever, but I thought that was pretty cool. And this is just a plastic handled one. Yellow. Oh, don't fall out of there and cut me, please. And I'm trying to see what it says on here. It says the something Tortonev Forge something. But this blade is actually in pretty decent shape as far as rust is concerned. There's not a lot of rust on that blade at all. I mean, it looks pretty decent. Yeah, and it's pretty sharp. Yeah, they're not bushcrafty, but they're fun. This is what intrigued me. I have no idea what the name is or anything, what type of knife it is. But I picked it up because I'm trying to see what it says here. It's a saber. It has a pretty decent sized blade. It needs to be cleaned up, obviously. Yeah, nothing. It needs to be cleaned up, sharpened up. So, I mean, it's not too bad. Clean her up. It's going to look pretty good. But the best part of this whole thing is this makes it bushcrafty. Look at the saw on this old knife. I mean, it's not like real sharp, but if you spend some time on it, you get it to work. Little, I forget what they call these on the end here, bottle opener. But I thought it was pretty cool. $5. $5 for each of these. That was the price on them. But I picked up so much stuff from this guy. He gave me such a really good deal, so I ended up spending like maybe $1 on these 3 knives. Next, I do a lot of woodworking, carving, and I've been wanting a draw knife forever. So I did find one at an antique mall down here, but they wanted like $45 for it, and I'm like, yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. And I can get them brand new online for like $23. But I did find this, and I know it's old. Let me move my tins. The handles are in really good shape. I'm gonna sand them down, put some grip stuff on there to hang on to it. But all I've really got to do, if you can see, is get just some surface rust off of this, which will not be a hard thing to do. And actually the blade is still pretty decent. I could take the bark off a tree with this, no problem. So just remove some of that rust that's on there, sand down the handles, sharpen her up. I've got myself a draw knife that I paid $5 for. That's right, $5. And I can only imagine the kind of work this knife has done, what it made, whose hands it was in, and I think that's what makes it so special when you buy items like this that are vintage or antiqued. And you can get them for a really good price. I mean, if this thing could talk, I would sit and listen to it all day. Alright, so let me get this out of the way. And on to, as Jimmy the Fish would say, yeah boy, look at this knife. Yeah, it's a project, no doubt. But it's sturdy. The handle's in good shape, for the most part. There are no markings at all on this knife. I'm assuming it may be an old hickory, kind of like a farmer's knife. I think they call them hop knives, maybe. But there is absolutely no markings on this knife whatsoever. But this is a badass bushcraft knife. Or it will be when I get done with it. No nicks in the blade. Pretty good. It has seen some hard use, but it's not that bad. The point's pretty dull. So again, just removing the rust. Working the edge. I'll probably have to regrind the edge and see what I can do with it, but that's a mother of a knife, let me tell you. $5. yeah, I'm loving it. So I'm guessing it was probably an old hickory at one point. I could be wrong. I don't know. If anybody knows what it is, please leave a comment. But I couldn't pass it up. I had to bring her home. I love me some big knives. She's a beauty. Oh, she's just a beauty. And the other best part is I brought her sister home too. Ta-da! Look at her. Isn't she pretty? I'm assuming by the blade style, they have to be an old hickory. This one, I don't know. It looks like they put some type of, even like a pine glue on this. You can see it right here. But she's sturdy. She don't bend. Nothing. And it's got that old hickory blade type. It could have been one of the original old hickory 7-inch butcher knives for all I know. I have no idea. But the blade's pretty thick. I mean, it's, for the type of knife it is, it's pretty thick. But she's in pretty rough shape. She's got a couple little nicks out of her, but nothing that can't be ground out. And the rust removed there. There's quite a bit of rust on the tip of that blade, but how can you pass something like that up, man? I can't. And like I said, man, if they could talk, the crap they must have seen and done and been through, I'll tell you what, they're beautiful. I hope I'm good enough to get them back into working condition, so I may be reaching out to some of my friends out there for a little help. Tom. Okay. Then I found this wool blanket. And of course, you know, I have to look and find the tag. And the tag reads, where is it? 100% wool, olive drab. And then when I did some research, there's the tag right there. You can see it. Probably not all that well. It's pretty old. When I did some research on it, come to find out, this wool blanket was from World War II. So, of course, it was a wool blanket, so I bought it. Yeah, I love wool blankets. I plan on making maybe a poncho out of this. Excuse me. It's in pristine shape, actually. Whoever owned it took really good care of it. I see no holes. Nothing. Nothing at all. Oh, wait. One little thing at the bottom here. But hey, if I make a poncho out of it, who's gonna know? World War II. This blanket was in World War II. I can't imagine the countries it's been in. The people it's protected and kept warm. I mean, it just blows my mind. Holds so much history. This was a little bit expensive. I think I paid $34 for this, but for 100% wool, you're going to pay a lot more. But you're also preserving part of history here. So maybe I won't make a poncho out of it. Maybe I'm going to keep it intact and let it be what it's been since 1930s, 1940s, and just let her be and keep me warm when I'm laying out in my hammock or under my tarp. And yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let her stay just like she is. And last but not least, oh, it's not last. Let me move this blanket so you can see a little bit better. Oh, there's my babies. I found this little haversack. It's obviously handmade. Somebody handmade this. Handmade. Somebody handcrafted this. It's just your basic little haversack. There ain't nothing special. It's got two little openings here for whatever purpose, I guess. Oh, pockets. Duh. Yep. Two little pockets here. Somebody knew what they were doing. It's definitely handcrafted. You can tell somebody made it. Velcro here. I'm not sure what this Velcro would be for. Maybe if you wanted to strap something in there. They've got Velcro here on this part of the bag. Maybe if you wanted to strap something there. And they've got a Velcro tab up here at the top. It's different. Oh, I see. God, I need to go to bed. That's what those are for. Oh, what a idiot I am. I'm tired. But for a little haversack bag, just to go out and go for a hike, I mean, it's pretty well made. It's thin handle, but just to go out for a little day hike. I mean, it's nothing like my Hidden Woodsman haversack. Thanks, Brittany. Nothing at all like that. Not even close. But hey, for $5, it's a little tinder bag. It's a little wild edibles bag. It's just a bag you could fold up like this. Throw in your day pack. Whatever. You have an extra bag. Works for me. Can't pass up a bargain at $5. I mean, somebody made this. And I saw this and I about started disco dancing. Let me tell you. Let me move my awesome blades. Yup. The tape on the side says Boy Scout. So I'm assuming this is an old Boy Scout kind of billy can, maybe. Has the lid. It's filthy. But it's got to be, 2 quart. Little pouring spout percolator. Handles. Bail handle. Got it from the little shop where I got all the knives and everything. The kind gentleman gave it to me for nothing. So, there you have it. I have a nice little billy pot. Because I think I spent like, I don't know, all together with everyone shopping, like maybe $70 there. He threw this in for free. But, you can't find these. I mean, this is solid. I mean, I couldn't dent this if I wanted to. So it stood the test of time. But you just can't find stuff like this anymore. It's just not made like it was when they made these. So, that's my story about looking for vintage or used bushcraft gear. I've been going to all the wrong places. Check out your local antique stores. These antique malls have different sections of the store that they're all private sellers. And if you think something's too expensive, you know, work it out with them. I got a really good haul here for very little money. I mean, it's just stuff you can't find. I mean, you can buy it new online. You can have it made. But, you know, it's going to cost you a lot of money. All these need is a little time, a little love, and a lot of elbow grease. So stay tuned. I may be antique shop hopping in the near future, and if I find anything else that I think you guys will enjoy, I will definitely share it with you. So, thanks for watching. Leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. And until we meet again, my friends, this is Diane from Snowfog Bushcraft, wishing you all the best you can get out of life. And don't forget to check out these antique stores. You never know. Thanks, you guys. I'll see you soon.